Hello and welcome to my reflections on day 52. Really struggled with day 52. Day 52 was it's about detail, but only about detail, but the interconnectedness of things, which is pretty much everything that sits in the rest of the Tao. But it was talking about the relationship between the Tao talks a lot about the 10,000 things, and the 10,000 things is the metaphor it uses for everything. And so it talked a lot about the relationship between the mother and the child, and that to see the child as the mother, and so on and so forth, and that everything returns ultimately to the mother. And whilst on the one level it's a very obvious set of statements to hear and listen to and to read and to be part of and to explore, I think the challenge was about, for me, was about actually how to do this video. It was about how it would fit in and how I'd talk about it and connect with it as a piece of being part of the real world. And so where it ultimately sat with me and resonated with me was about things returning home, about things being connected. And actually it had echoes, in the end, it had echoes of some other days around this perception is projection piece. But of course, there is an old Navajo proverb, is that getting upset with someone else is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. And of course, whatever thoughts we have about anyone else, if we get angry with anyone else, the person that actually gets angry is us. And so even though the thought we may give birth to it and let it wander and associate the center potentially of the energy of that thought being centered around someone else, ultimately the person that carries the emotion is you, and you are the maternal, you are the creator, you give birth to your thoughts and to your thinking. And so one of the things that eventually really settled, because they're quite late into day 53, so it's taken me quite a while to really process how practically 2,500 years later, other than being a piece of spiritual wisdom, pragmatically, how day 52 can really resonate. And that's how it's really resonated for me, is that that when we connect with maternal relationship, male or female, is that we give birth to our thoughts, our ideas, and we create them each day. And whilst we set them off into the world, because we give them away, we talk about them, we may even not talk about them, but allow something to be centered around someone else, being upset with someone or angry with someone, what we have to remember is everything comes back to the mother, to the creator of that thought. And that ultimately, if I get upset with someone, I'm the one that's carrying the hormones. I'm the one that creates the emotions. That human stress hormone, the cortisol, is pumped into my bloodstream, even though you may feel completely justified and it may be entirely appropriate that you feel that it's okay to be angry with someone else. What you've got to remember is that you gave birth to that, so you carry it. You carry the emotions that come with it. And the same with our behaviors and our actions, is that we ultimately, no matter how justified we feel in terms of what we do and don't do in the world, ultimately the impact of it sits and lies with us, and we end up having to and we own the consequences of all of the emotions that we experience. So it means that actually at times maybe just being silent, and that's the beautiful art of meditation, but to see it more as a living meditation, maybe to speak less, to share fewer ideas, to be able to maybe at times also is to listen more but wait to speak less, but also to not just listen to what people say, but to how they construct their ideas, what actually is the intention that sits behind it. And I am sure that there are many conversations that you will have had with lots of people where you've reacted to what they say, but actually the intention that sat behind it was something completely different. So I think in the words of the Tao is they talk about listening less to hear more. And practically, pragmatically, that's about just looking beyond the words that are used, and to connect with the intention of the individual that sat behind it. We've all grown up in different places. We all have different words in our vocabulary, and of course, whilst there's over 400,000 words in the English language, research shows us that the average person each day can use somewhere between 80 and about 250. We use a lot of thes and buts and ands and ums and all sorts of different things. And so we have such a wide diversity of words to use, but yet we all use the same ones. So is it any wonder that we're all different people but actually fail to communicate meaningfully? Because you think about all the things that you've thought and the feelings that you've used today, we use such few words to explain it. So is it any wonder that we're not always understood? So maybe we need to constantly look beyond, ask, the intention. What was the intention behind that idea, behind what that person said? What were they looking to achieve? What assumptions were they making when they did that? And not to think it for them. So I'll see you shortly, because I'm about to record day 53 as well. See you later. Bye.